I'm going to get started on status effects. These will be very limited until I do a lot of work with stats, with some way of modifying stats, so I don't have to just be actually altering the base stat all the time. But I don't need to go into that right now. I'll work on two status effects. One will be poison and one will be some sort of heal over time effect, like a regen. Those are very, very similar. It's basically the same effect, but yeah, I'll at least have built the foundations to then build other stats effects on top once the rest of the code's in place. So let's go. A unit will have some kind of, I guess, container component or wrapper component that handles status effects. I'm just wondering if this is the kind of game that has to worry about status effects outside of combat. And I think for the sake of it, I'll probably say yeah. Some status effects will be sort of when you equip an item, you gain that status effect and it remains with you for forever. It's like a permanent thing. So in maybe entities, will only units have status effects? Nope. This is an entity thing, so let's just add it here. Maybe just status is fine. And then this is what will be attached to the unit. Just like that. And this is something that I can see the battle unit wanting access to as well. So public status, and then the same thing, get component status, and then in the battle unit we will do the same as we've done here. Public status, get return unit.status. So what is a status? It's the governing body of status effects. So there'll need to be maybe some kind of public list of current status effects that are affecting this person. Status effect list. There'll be some kind of way of adding a status effect to this person, this unit. Probably should have created this status effect class as well. Let's make a folder, status effects. In here we will put the base status effect. And right now I don't think I need to worry about putting anything in that, so we can just keep working with this. Remove, which is just going to be a status effect. it doesn't contain it, we will return. And maybe make this a Boolean. So if we don't remove it, return false. Otherwise, return true. And when we add, we don't necessarily want to just add a whole new status effect. This will either reset an application or it will add stacks, I guess. Either reset an application, stacks to an application, or add a completely new status effect. And there will be some kind of on add, on remove events here. I may as well put that in because they will 100% be getting used. Mm. Mm. Status effect event args. And I'm trying to make this not add or remove specific so we can reuse it. Mm. There will be some things here. I'll add some to-do lines just for me to keep it in my mind of what could be options here. It could be a flag for how the status effect was removed. So the purpose of that is if there's an effect that says if this effect is removed, deal double damage to the unit. Otherwise, it just ticks away like normal. And so if this gets removed by the player, we might want to flag it. And then when it gets removed because of natural reasons, it's run its course, then that flag would remain false. So that effect would know not to trigger the extra damage or something like that. The status effect, probably a battle unit for battle unit affected. We will also have the person that applied the status effect. Applicator. See, this is maybe more add only, so I wonder if I should end up splitting these at some point. Just invoke the event like usual. Oh, status effect is status effect. Target battle unit. There should probably be some kind of property to get the owner battle unit. But it's not really battle unit. It's the unit itself. So this needs to change. This should change. Okay. Parent unit, I think, is maybe a decent name. Get component. So the target unit is the parent unit, and then we will have the applicator here. But again, all of this is going to change to entity anyway, because if a trap applies a status effect stop so that he can't move anymore, then this is going to be it's not going to be a unit that applies this, is it? So that's something to worry about later. I think I will add this to the state anyway. So this involves us creating a status effect object by doing status effect equals new status effect. Then we set the values on it, some sort of removal condition. We add who applied the status effect. And then we run it through this to add it to the person's status to keep a track of it. And maybe on this we'll have some sort of add or remove subscribers or subscriptions. We'll see once I start coding it out. It'll make more sense maybe. But yeah, we add it like that, and then when we remove it, we will send an event on remove. And we may not need this. I think I might put inside the status effect who applied it. Because maybe the status effect relies on the person's stats to do things. If it's damage over time, we may want the person's damage or intelligence so we can apply some kind of effect, doing more damage or whatever. So we don't need this. That'll be on the status effect itself. So on add, on remove, ping off events, status effect. Let's start adding to it. Private unit, applied by unit. It's all the same anyway, I'm sure it's fine. So this status effect is going to be abstract because we never want just a plain old status effect. I don't think we need mono behaviors. I think we should just build it like this. Have some sort of public. Maybe an IEnumerator. On apply. Maybe this could be set up in the same way that the state is. So we'll have a public IEnumerator apply, and this will run on apply. And on apply, we will make protected, but virtual, well, abstract, so it can be overwritten. Apply and remove, and then we allow ourselves to overwrite or override these functions in order to do stuff. Real yield return on remove. But again, maybe there'll be different ways of removing, and this might become important later. I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, maybe that. So maybe we have to set the applicator in the constructor. So let's just try and throw something in there. Hello? Hello? Okay. Oh, I didn't bloody change that everywhere, did I? Oh my god. Ah, come on. Okay. Oh, it's unit instead of battle unit. Oh, what is going on? Oh, battle unit's been renamed as well. Come on. How could I have done this again? Okay. This can use, this is looking for a battle unit, which it probably shouldn't be. It probably should be a unit. Oh, for God's sake. Eight to eight areas I screwed this without even realizing. Oh, let's go to unit. Okay, unit doesn't have that shit at the start. I wonder if we can just make this battle unit. Please don't screw up unit. Oh, for fuck's sake, I did, didn't I? Ugh. Okay, well, we undo that because that would have been way worse having to try and decipher which was unit and which is battle unit. Okay. Battle unit. Battle unit. anywhere that it says that. At the back. Change. Change, change, change. Okay. We're doing it, we're doing it. I would rather step through them rather than click and do all, just to make sure I'm not somehow screwing just the units again. Looks good, looks good. On. Okay, let's just replace all and see what happens. It's not really any errors left, right? It's just saying there is. Oh, it's just unsaved files. Okay. Okay, we'll just assume that that's working now. Can use that as battle unit, you little snake. Ugh. Alright, back to the real errors again. So remember, don't panic if something really bad happens. If you've really screwed it, just make sure you're using version control and you can quickly skip back to a working version and all you lose is the most recent stuff. But if it's not too bad and you want to at least try and unpick it, then yeah, just go at it. Right, let's see. What were we doing? Where is everything to do with status effects? Just close all. Close all tabs. Start again. Right, status effects. Okay, and inside the status effects, let's just see. Have I done common or not? No. Um, removal condition. Let's just keep the shorter name. Removal condition, because I don't think anything else is going to share that name. Removal condition. Probably just abstract again. Some kind of reference to the status effect, maybe. Maybe not. Um, init, and maybe public void destroy. Maybe something like that, because this will probably want to subscribe to different events for when to remove itself. So no more virtual, just make it abstract. On remove. So this will figure out when to remove itself. Okay, let's see, how do we get this working? How do we tie this all together? Um, I guess to keep it. Okay, so the difficulty is I'd like to keep this uniform with the rest of the code, which means you make abilities as objects like this, game objects, and then you can make status effects like this. But the problem with that is one ability might add the dark effect 25% of the time, and then one might add it sort of 50% of the time. You know what? That's wrong. That's completely wrong. That will be in the ability effect itself that worries about that. What if you have an effect that adds darkness for 3 turns, and then you have an effect that adds darkness for 8 turns? Though that is something that the status effect will worry about. But there's nothing really that decides. What am I trying to say? Uh, There's maybe not a great way of doing that. Mhm. Well, maybe in along the same vein that a damage effect has a potency and a heal effect as well. I guess the inflict state or inflict status effect, that can have some components of its own, and that can decide how long a state hangs around for. That's maybe a good way of doing it. So let's copy the damage effect just so that we have a basis. Inflict status effect. Effect. Brilliant naming. There won't be a potency. I imagine there is probably... How many different ways do we want to do this? If I have a simple percentage chance, so what's the chance of this being applied? It's a simple random number. Maybe that's not what we want though. In the same way that there is a hit chance, maybe there will be an application chance, and that can be a percentage, that could be based on the target. If the target is male, you can do this. If the target is a dragon, do someone else. Maybe there should be some kind of removal condition builder as well. Um, there needs to be some way of knowing what status effect we're talking about. But you can't really do that without having all kinds of hard-coded values. So maybe the real way of doing this, or a good way of doing it, really is to go with the prefab way. And you can just access the variable and change how, like, if you want to remove it by the number of turns, then maybe you just instantiate, grab the removal condition and change the number of turns. Maybe that's just how we do this. Okay. So let's make status effect poison, reset, status effect. Oh, this is complaining. Um, let's not get lazy though. Serialize field, private status effect, and then same thing here. Serialize field, private int percentage chance. Part of me still wants to replace this damage effect code here with an action. maybe that'll be the next video. I can neaten up some of the existing code, change these into actions instead of just performing it straight here. So we want to go to the targets status and then add a status effect. Maybe that involves instantiating this status effect object equals instantiate status effect. Status effect prefab, there we go. And then we will grab the status effect from it. And then the removal condition. Maybe that's just stuck onto that as well. Get component, removal condition. And we would add that. The status effect is going to hold that. We don't need this. There'll be none of that anymore. There will be an applicator unit, but this is going to be going to do this kind of thing again. And then public void set applicator unit. So status effect dot set applicator unit. That's going to be the user, the person that used this, that used the ability that causes the effect. Well, that's also important for overwriting effects. Maybe you want some effects will be only one can be on the target, so then this will overwrite regardless of the applicator unit. But maybe this is like a damage over time effect, some kind of curse, and you want multiple of them to be on the unit as long as it's from different applicators. Yeah, a lot of this logic can probably be fairly easily transposed to other types of games. Just a regular turn-based RPG, strategy RPGs, of course, and maybe even online games. Some of this might be applicable. Removal condition. We're not doing anything with that yet, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be something that needs done. Maybe set turns or some shit. Maybe this will be turned into an enum that can just be chosen how this wants to be removed, and then I'll update it that way. When it gets added, this will be when we want to turn it on as well. Apply. Uh, There's going to be a parent unit as well then. Public unit parent. Maybe status parent status. Oh, this isn't mono behavior, which needs to change again. It is mono behavior. Get component in parent. Yeah, get component in parent status. I believe that can access a unit. Nice. So when you want to remove this effect, apply can now perform some kind of change on the parent status and the parent unit itself. Same for remove. And in here, the smart thing is you don't have to just make static changes like on apply means increase attack by 10 and on remove means reduce attack by 10. You could also on apply subscribe to an event, catch the event, then alter a value because of it, and then you unsubscribe on remove. So if some calculation is going to say get the hit rating of me attacking this blind unit, this status effect might be able to catch the fact that the target is blind and then increase the chance of you hitting them because they can't react properly, something like that. Removal condition is also mono behavior now. We're putting that back in. We're going to have an accessor for, you know what, maybe that doesn't need to be public. I'm the only one that's, this class is going to be the only one that uses this, I believe. It would be protected though, not private, protected, because of all the classes that are going to build on top of this. Protected, just like that. Protected status effect, because it may want to know the status effect that it belongs to. Return get component status effect, and this has access to the status and the status has access to the unit, so that should be good enough. This suddenly is a thing again on destroy, so on apply and on remove, maybe remove. Let's see, let's just start stringing it all together and see if something happens. So I don't think there's errors now, which means we can apply a status effect. I can't apply just stat. Oh, of course I can't. Hmm. So this is poison status effect. will inherit from status effect, and I need to implement the abstract class. So on apply, um, this needs some way of determining how much to reduce the health by. Some games have a static percentage, 8 to 10%, something like that. Some games have damage over time being based on your stats or a total number, and then dividing that by however long the effect lasts. I don't think this should be an enumerator anymore. It should be simply apply, remove, hey, maybe I'm wrong and I'll end up undoing that, but this seems more likely. We just want to immediately slap on the effect. Um, so we deal damage at the start of someone's turn, which is maybe turn controller dot. There's nothing in turn controller. Select battle unit on battle unit selected. So this is technically the start of their turn. Poison, damage, and then we'll put in the parent status, and then grab the parent unit, and then display name. So how are we going to determine how much damage this thing does? So on apply, we'll subscribe to a new turn. But this isn't quite right, because this will trigger on every new turn. So we need to grab the acting battle unit. If the acting battle unit is the same or is not equal to parent status dot parent unit. So what we've got here is a unit and a battle unit, so we do need to go inside and grab the unit. So if the unit whose turn it currently is not this unit, then we just return, we don't care. Otherwise, we will say that we've dealt poison damage to them. Inflict status. Let's make a new ability then. And I also should make a prefab of this thing. Doesn't have anything on it yet, but it will. Poison status effect. copy fire and we'll change some values. Poison. Poison. Oh, almost like I planned it. That looks like poison. You can hit, yeah, you can hit everyone. Make it an MP cost 1. Yeah, let's say you can't target yourself just so we can see some different actions happening. And we'll just go 10. Crazy high height. You can hit anywhere. Okay, let's give it to someone. Give it to the witch. Ability list. Put poison in there. If we go into this, let's see. If it's an ally, no. We just want to say only if they're a foe should this target. Nah, you know what? Let's just say take out this alliance entirely. Any alive target is a valid target because that makes more sense for this kind of thing. Alive target condition, and that's all. Effect container, it's a magic hit rate, which I can't even remember what we put in here. Hit and magic evasion. Okay, seems straightforward. The hit could maybe be something to do with intellect, but I don't think we've got that stat yet. We'll change damage effect to inflict poison effect. So let's inflict stats effect. Get rid of the potency, get rid of that. Percentage chance, we'll say 100. Stats effect prefab, let's drag that in there. So nothing will happen, I just want to test and make sure nothing's broken. So let's skip through. There we go, so she has poison. It's got a crazy high range. Hits all these people. Let's target Pete. Boom. Missed Pete. Wonderful. You see that it is costing our mana, which is cool to see. Okay, something crazy is going on. Keeps missing. Okay, finally hit. I wonder if that's just his magic evasion's crazy high or something. Yeah, I don't think it's actually done anything though. Let's have a look. Nope. So let's see, what does it do? It adds the stat. We are actually creating stuff. Maybe it was down here and I just didn't notice because we don't attach it. Stats effect object dot transform dot set parent target dot transform maybe. You know what? Let's just see if this works. Let's just see if it creates an object and attaches it to the target. I can't wait once all the basics are done and we can start working on interesting abilities and effects. Like if one person casts a chain heal or a chain link heal, then it can make the user also a target So anytime you then cast a heal going forward, it heals both of you. Like doing stuff like that's going to be so much fun. Okay, hit. Let's see. Unit didn't do shit, but maybe it's... Oh, it is. It's on the battle unit, which is probably not what we want. But that's cool that it did something. So let's see if we skip turn. It's Pete's turn, and something did want to start talking, but because it's not on a unit, it's on a battle unit, it threw an error. So let's fix that. It's the target.unit.transform. Let's see. It missed him. Let's just keep going. Okay, it hit him. This time we do see the poison on Pete. So let's skip turn. Poison damage Pete. And let's skip turn again just to make sure it doesn't say that for everyone. Susie's turn. Lorik's turn. Amy's turn. Pete's turn. Poison damage Pete. So now at the start of every one of Pete's turns, he will take poison damage. Okay. Um, I guess the type of status effect will always have the same type of removal, right? And I guess not. And if you wanted insanely crazy OP items like haste boots that just always makes the person hasted. But I guess we do have that in some games, so maybe it is something that'll come up. So poison status effect. Um, yeah, there'll be some kind of removal condition, um, effect, ability sort of thing, like removal condition option. Mm, oh, wrong thing. What do we even call this? So what I'm trying to think up here is, in the same way that we've got um, damage effect, which pulls in another component, potency, to then decide what to do. I would like inflict poison status effect. Status effect, wonderful. There will be another component here that tells this one what the removal condition should be for this status effect. Maybe this should just be state. Nah, I've already used the word state, so that would be overlapping as well. I've already used effect. Huh. It's fine, it's fine. Inflict status effect removal condition. Let's just go with it. It's gonna hurt to write it down. State status effect removal condition. Inflict status effect removal condition. Inflict status effect removal condition. So what will be in here? It'll be some reference to the removal condition object, removal condition prefab. This will be abstract because we will be building on top of it with other effects or removal conditions. And it'll be a public void initialize removal condition. And maybe we'll pass in the status effect so we have something to stick it onto. Alright, so let's see how this will work in theory. Turn maybe timer, and that's as in turns. No, turn inflict status effect removal condition. Oh, it's so long and gross. Inflict status effect removal condition, but that needs to be abstract class. Okay, then we'll have serialized field private int turns. We'll have a private enum of turn moment, start, end. Turn moment. So this is at what point will we reduce the turns? Some things will happen at the start of the turn, some things will happen at the end of the turn. I imagine most good effects you probably want to end no, I guess that's wrong as well. But depending on what it is, some things will want to happen at the start of a turn, some things will want to happen at the end. I'm thinking if it's a positive effect and you cast something on yourself, if it runs out at the end of a turn, then you have wasted that turn. If it triggers at the start of your turn, then you've effectively wasted it as well, because by the time it comes to your next turn, depending on what it is. If it's a defensive thing and you cast it on yourself, then the start of your turn is fine because by the time it gets to your next turn, something could have hit you, thus making the defense matter. Ah, so many options, so many choices. So this is what we use to fine tune the removal condition. And the removal condition prefab is where the actual object will go. So removal condition turn, removal condition. I've not actually written that, have I? Okay. Scripts, removal condition, where has it all gone? Here. On apply, on remove, all good. Turn, removal condition. This will be probably the most used one, but I would probably add in something like on hit remove condition. So if you take damage or something, it would remove. Maybe there could be a bubble, so there's a certain number attached to this, and once you deal a certain amount of damage, it then removes. Turn removal condition, which is removal condition, and then abstract class. On apply, we are going to private this should get ripped out of there. I'll just make it its own thing. Turn moment start end. So this should be fine again now. Oh, it's private. Okay. Public. There we go. So now we can do turn moment, private int turns left, and maybe even a private int turns initial turns. So we're just keeping track of what it started at, how many turns are left. What else? initial turns, turns left. On apply. I'm gonna add in little setters for this. And just maybe set the whole thing, do it all at once, just to keep this short, because we don't really, I don't think we're ever going to continually change this outside of this itself. So int initial turns, that'll handle turns left as well, and then turn moment for the turn moment. Turns left, or turn moment equals initial turns. Yeah, I know we don't need that, but it kind of feels out of place now. But anyway. So on apply, we're gonna, okay, so we only on apply this after we've set it. That means we can save the bother of subscribing to both lots. If turn moment equals to start, then we will go to select battle unit and then on battle unit selected, because this is the start of the turn. If turn moment equals turn end, let's go to end turn. We don't actually have an event for that yet. Let's just add it right now. Public static event, event handler. On enter as well, since we're entering this end turn state. Event args, same stuff I've been seeing all throughout these videos. Battle unit for whoever's turn it is that we're leaving. That's probably enough right now, so I could have done this shorter, but we'll just keep it in case that we need more at the end of a turn. And also remember to trigger it at some point. On enter, invoke this new battle unit is equal to battle.turn acting battle unit. Okay, so that's the end of their turn. See, now this is where I want to be adding this all to the action queue, because I want to end someone's turn. Yeah, you want to end someone's turn, and that might trigger an effect like, oh, let's take damage. But then there may be so many more effects, like when someone takes damage, increase my attack by 1. So you have this berserker type class or enemy even, that anytime someone takes damage, they get stronger. So then this doesn't really work now, because you're leaving, you're leaving the class. What am I talking about? Think properly. You're leaving the end turn state. You're triggering this. Someone's taking damage from a status effect. But then what? How then do we react before just moving to the next state? So this whole thing doesn't really fit into the cycle that I want to build for the game. So I'll keep building it for now, but that'll need to happen in the next video. I'll need to really grind this out and make it a more robust system. Okay, so end turn on enter, and then same deal on the way out. We will just remove what we need to remove. And these are both going to run the same thing. Private void. Reduce turns. Yeah, reduce turns. Turns left, minus minus. Removal condition has status effect. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Reduce the turns, and then we want to check if we need to destroy this or not. If turns left equals 0, we will go up to the status effect, then go up to the status. Parent status? No? Oh, is this locked off to us? Okay, so maybe it's just remove. Parent status dot remove this. Is that good enough? So these will both say reduce turns. As long as the actor is the same as this actor, of course. But yeah, we don't actually have access to the actor, or I keep saying actor. We don't have access to the battle unit while in here. Because we can say if the battle unit does not equal status effect dot parent, see the parent's all hidden away. Applicator unit, nope. So status effect. That's maybe fine to be public because we can't mistakenly change it. So this would be parent status dot parent unit. So if the person whose turn just ended is not equal to our unit, return and do nothing. And then same deal here. Acting battle unit dot unit. So it would have been nice to keep those the same. Maybe I should. Acting battle unit. Keep it nice and simple. Okay. Debug.log. It's obviously the wrong type of debug. Wonderful. And debug.log. Removing. Yeah, actually, I don't know what this is called. So removing status effect dot display name. We don't know if it's poison. Silly bugger. Reduce by 1 turn. 2 turns left turns. Status effect. Private string display name. Public string display name. Public void set display name. We don't need that. We could change that in the inspector. Turn removal condition. Removal condition, get that in there. Poison, let's see, inflict. Wow. We'll attach it for 3 turns. And the removal condition is this one. And a way of tidying this up, I suppose, if I have each of the removal conditions in maybe the config file, this is very explicit on what it is. So this doesn't really need me to add it here. It can just go to the config file, get the prefab, and then use that. Yeah, I think I'll do it that way. Removal conditions, public game object, turn removal condition prefab. Doesn't need one of those. Initialize. So here, removal condition object equals config dot instance dot removal dot set parent to status effect dot game. Yeah, transform. And then we'll grab turn removal condition equals removal condition object dot get component, and if that equals null, we screwed up somewhere. Debug.log error, trying to get removal condition from prefab, and it doesn't exist. And then we will just return, and hopefully the error is enough to be like, this is definitely not working right, this is broken. Otherwise, turn removal condition dot set Initial turns is turns, and turn moment is like that. Let's go back to config and make sure we've actually added that prefab. It's getting slow. Config, let's see, turn removal, condition. Now, if this config starts to get too big, it can be broken down. You can make sort of some kind of prefab holder and only put prefabs in it, and then keep config for more just floats and things. And if you find that this is getting way too much, then maybe some kind of config file is not the right solution and this needs to be handled better. I'll just run it. I don't know if it's going to work yet. It's a good way of checking if the components are even attached, if they're working together or what. Right, let's see. Use it on Pete. So Pete is now poisoned for 3 turns. So there's 1, and we didn't get the message of reducing turns. I don't remember actually changing anything, so let's check the status effect. And what about the removal condition? And what about the ability that applies it? Should be at the start of the turn, and it does it for 3 turns. Okay, weird. Well, it didn't do it. It didn't actually. Ah, I set it, but I didn't turn on apply. So we set it, and turn removal condition on apply, or maybe just apply. Because we aren't needing to trigger an on apply effect or an on remove effect, we're just trying to apply it or remove it. And let's see. Jesus. Okay, yes, use that. He got hit, so let's see what happens. Okay. It's still not doing what I expect it to. Let's see. Where is the inflict status effect even happening? On apply simply runs that, which feels wrong. Let's see what's on him. Only the status effect. We haven't actually triggered for it to do the removal condition. So let's see, where is it? Inflict status effect. Here we go. We're trying to get the removal condition from the object we've spawned which just isn't right. What we want to be doing, uh, we need to grab this, which needs to be a component of this. Inflict status effect, and there will be some kind of private inflict status effect removal condition. Get, and that will return get component of that. And then when we're performing all this, we can do inflict that dot create or initialize, pass in the status effect, and maybe that's it now. So now that we've actually initialized this, it will run this code, which instantiates the object, attaches it to the status effect, sets it up with the turn removal, and sets and applies the turn. Okay. So a big part was missed out. Time to test. So it hit Pete and then something broke. Ah, we're not instantiating it, we're just grabbing it. Oh. So now that we've created a new one, let's try it now. And then I'll need to probably stop the video if this works, restart everything since it's running slow, and then maybe the next video would be making a heal over time rather than poison. Okay, let's see. Poison Pete, and she missed. Let's go again. Okay, missed Pete. Come on, lady. Okay, Pete was hit. Let's check it out. There is a removal condition, so let's see if we skip the Pete's turn. Okay, that's fine. Something isn't quite right. This is probably getting component, whereas it should be getting component and parent. Yep, there we go. Right, let's see. Let's get in quick. Come on. Load. Do your thing. Okay, he was hit. It's all there. Cool. Let's go next turn. Boom. Poison was reduced by 1 turn to 2 and he was damaged. So the order of this happening might be a problem. If it removes everything and then tries to damage him. So let's see, he took damage once. Took damage twice. Took damage, there we go. Caused a stack overflow, okay. Removing. So it didn't even attempt to do the damage. So this is something's gone wrong. Hold on. What? On remove. So now I'm just wondering, should I even bother trying to set up different removal conditions for different, well, different removal conditions for the same status effect? Should I worry about one ability using poison for 3 turns and a different ability using poison for 8 turns? I guess it makes sense. Okay, this is a bit of a failed video. There's some good progress here, but I think it's all broken the way compared to the way I want to move the project. So I think I'll finish this video here, and the next video will be about just getting everything into the action queue. So I want to have, where is it? Oh, so a turn starts. Put this is in the action queue. Then when the action queue triggers this, that's when the status effect poison will add a unit taking damage to the action queue. So then once the turn starting has been processed, it will then move on to the status effect dealing damage, but then that will trigger the turn removal condition, reducing a turn. And then if turns equals 0, this will add to the action queue removal of the state or status effect. That seems so much better than just trying to run all the code willy-nilly and hoping that something triggers at the right time. So yeah, I'm going to stop this one for now, but next video will fix all of these problems.